Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Imperator Rome with me, Vapaya Omega and Rome. So in the previous episode we have, I think, tested out our first legion, the first Legio Italia, and now they're back in Rome and they're doing their best to gain more experience. Rome is also doing great with most of its performance, but it seems like we have lost some import routes. Quite a lot of them actually. Let me just unpause the game and check it out a little bit later. Sometimes it shows incorrectly. In the meantime, we have a place for a new governor in Celtica. So let's see if we can make this person either a Cordii or a Cornelii. You would be good, but you have terrible martial. Anyone who has a really good martial? And is not a corrupt, broken Tertius Claudius Codex. Okay, he's 19 years old. Let's make him the governor there. And lack of construction leader. Alright, let's give you guys someone who's gonna lead you guys. Okay, I can actually put you there. Yes. And the other pyramid here. Gallus Cornelius. Sure, that's a good idea. Alright, so now we can unpause it and see how it's gonna go. By the way, I have googled in between episodes because I was kind of interested. It's not really showing here the effect of the experience, so I double checked, and the effect is that for each point of experience, each percentage, it gives a minus 0.3 reduction in taken damage. So for 8% would mean that we are roughly losing about 11, or roughly getting a little bit then. That's a weird way how to explain it, but basically they're taking only 89% of the damage rather than 100% in battle. So it doesn't affect any offensive damage dealt, but, oh yeah, it fixed itself. But it affects the damage taken. Alright, then we can take steppe horses, I think, because that's going to give us an additional output here. Some seeds have been sprouting in Verakunda again. After all the trees have been felled years ago, no one expected to see vigorous trees in the area again. Surely the gods must favor us. Alright. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but alright. You do you. Let's just import. Oh, we could import incense. That's interesting. Let's just import some of these to improve the happiness of the men and get a little bit more income here. So you want to give us iron? No, you want to import iron. Alright. And we just get another import route. Alright, so the question is if we don't want to get the increased happiness here. I think we might want to instead of the steppe horses, because the actual output is going to be much more beneficial to us. So you are Morea. Morea is not going to trade with us. Seleucid will. Did we just lose a trade route? No. That's weird. I don't know why it's. Alright, so. Oh no, we had incense this whole time. Oh god. Okay, well that's bad then. I thought that we didn't have it. I didn't see it on the list. Alright, so we did have it, and that means we can take... Okay, let's take camels and steppe horses. And it gives us a little bit of output and a little bit of trade. Petitioner approaches. Okay, we can't have him impaled as we did before with the other guys. Okay, Salmatica has been, yes, at foot room. Right, so Salmatica can start converting. You can build a fort. Yes, and you can build foundry. Why not? And you guys can do exactly the same thing. And the fort. Alright, and I would like to check, you want to import something, but we have been investing heavily into you guys. And I think you guys are also, yes. Alright, so you will be a metropolis soon, so that's a good news. I managed to increase this. Yes, there is a pretty big decay when it comes to this kind of stuff. So being able to keep it real is pretty good. Okay, Aravasia, we will come for the rest of your territories soon. Are you allied with anyone? No, you're not. So there's no way we can drag you into a war. You're smart like that. I like it. Carthage. Well, we would probably want to get this one. Yeah, we need to get... Oh, we have a new Heptalas Messias. Right, he's a Roman. National Freeman Happiness plus 8%. That's not bad. And was Heptalas actually a governor here? Turns out he probably was. Messiah. Okay, Decimus Messias is actually a pretty cool guy. I actually haven't checked if he's corrupt. He is, but only a little. So I'll pretend like that was a good choice. But as I was saying, we want to lay a claim to this last province on Cyprus. Where is it? Fabricate a claim on the province of Cyprus. It's gonna allow us to take it, and with enough ships, we might be able to even just blockade them and protect ourselves from having to fight. And if we can just get a ticking war score, we'll be able to take it while we fight in the south and in here. The last time that really didn't go our way. I mean, we got really... well, not badly defeated, but the moment when our ships actually were capable of bringing the units there, we were already under attack, and only actually going for a truce stopped us from a disaster of the wiping our entire army. So I would not like to see that again. Alright, we need to invest a little bit more into this area. Illyria has always been our big, powerful province, so I'm kind of surprised that we haven't really done more here, especially in regards to the conversions. And we focused probably on the big cities and didn't do much with the little ones. Which is fair, you know, we got this province far away when we weren't as powerful. NVIDIA. I want you to be governed by Paulus Sempronius Severio. This man is the man of the hour. Yeah, and production is going well. So what were we looking at here? You guys. And here, you guys as well. And in granary. Okay, you also need to convert. Nice. The culture is getting a little bit more unified. Even in Macedonia and Greece. I like that. But we have to keep the pressure on. We have to keep them trembling. Yeah, killed the Imperator 1600. Yeah, Macedonia, look at that. How fast it's dropping. No, I'm kinda... The faith of the Secundus. Never has a more devout man existed than Secundus Sempronius Severio. Our people clamor at the very door of the temple, demanding that we declare a feast in his honor. Sure, glory to Secundus. I don't mind that. You guys can really get more here. Alright, an aqueduct. So I was wondering how we're doing culture-wise in these areas. Not spreading fast enough. Yeah, we have went with... Yes. Alright, you guys need to be switched to a cultural... And so will you. We need to focus more on the cultural assimilation in these newly conquered territories. I don't actually mind it that we don't have it in places like Italy, where the dominance is pretty much a given. But these newly conquered territories, they really need to tremble and embrace the Roman culture as fast as possible, so that we eliminate any kind of unpleasant situations. Especially because these ones are all new. Alright, so celebration. We don't have the money en route. Well, we can force up the milk to focus on that. Alright, back to Illyria, where we have had a couple more cities to develop. So in Granary, an aqueduct and an academy. Yeah, you guys are really bad, and it shows. Because these are not converting at all. Alright, so you can get them. I'm gonna be the first one. And then Visinia. Yeah, this is a dark patch. You can see that certain provinces where we have cities where the conversions are running are already mostly Romanized. But the other ones aren't. So we have to keep it in mind. Nice, nice, nice. Almost 25,000 pops. Considering we started with about 400, I would say that is a pretty big success. So here's your great temple. I'm gonna break down the fort and instead build the Grand Theatre and the Great Temple here. And Aspis became a metropolis, so we need to invest in it as well. Though you're gonna get a really decent amount of extra slots from just the population. So no need to be too overly dramatic there. Alright, how's the claim going? 90% on Sloy. Actually, I think we might take our first Legion there. And have it conquered. Who are you gonna call into the war? Just Ptolemaic Empire. Oh, and Ptolemaic Empire actually has only one ally. That's interesting. So it really just will be them and them. So if we can fend off the enemy attack, the initial enemy attack, will most likely be fine. You guys can build a fort. Just so that we don't make it that easy for the enemy to take you down. Alright, we need a couple of aqueducts over here. How's that drill going? %63%, not bad. Not bad at all. More aqueducts needed. You can never have enough aqueducts. And Macedon is at war with Octavum. Interesting. Interesting. Come on. Tribe proposition. Sure. We can work with tribes. We're doing on technology. Very far from any kind of development. And maxed out military experience gives our units 10% extra morale. Alright. Petition. People hate our governor. And he's losing his corruption. People will be unhappy, but I really don't see a reason to revoke him. You need to convert people. Oh, what the hell? What the hell? You're importing absolute nonsense here. You don't have any tribesmen. Why are you trying to appease tribesmen? That makes 0 sense. Anything else you want to cancel? No, these are all food products, so it's fine. Hopefully that's gonna help the 2 extra grain. Do we have food issues elsewhere too? Let's spot it. With Turkey, you have only 200? Oh man. That's a terrible place to live when you look at it from that point. You guys can get an aqueduct as well. So can you. Alright. Well, let's look at the book. $249. So I think the state's economy is actually moving upwards. That's really good. The issue that I see is that because it specifically mentions that you need to have other suppressed cultures working for you, and the fact that we are not doing that, but still the economy is growing, is making me really happy. Alright, how are you guys doing? Very good. Defending. So we do have a claim now, right? Yes, we do. Fire. We actually cannot physically pay for that. Upgrades through wonders are available. That's not something that I would consider noteworthy, but let's take them to Cyprus, to the city of Paphos. Oh, and while we're at it, let us look at Malta, what it's doing. Alright, more pops now. There used to be only 1, now there's 3. So the growth is nice. I'd say tripling within a couple of years. That is actually pretty good. Heptawas. Heptawas Messias claims that he would rather spend all of this time in thoughtful prayer than engaging in a more unclean, sordid activities. He becomes chaste. Well, that's not bad. And more Levantines convert to Judaism. Well, you really need to look into that mechanism soon. A plea from asylum. The Carius Apoticus, varied and bedraggled, comes before our Senate seeking protection from the schemes and plots of Yugoslavia. Our advisors inform us that the man is a sibling of the Yugoslavian ruler. Mount him on a cross. Let's keep him and prove him as an asset. I'm really wondering if they will ever attack us on Cyprus, because if there ever was a good place to start our coastal raids from, this would be triple that. Because from here we could pretty much raid the entirety of the Ptolemaics. Alright, so I guess the war with Cyprus is our next goal. We're gonna quickly take the province and then try to aim for peace. I think you guys can actually block this area. What we'll need to do is protect our own interests here. Put another over fort. How about granary? That could help with a prolonged siege. Same here, let's get granaries. I think this is gonna be such a quick battle that we won't even, quick war, that we won't even see the enemy amassing against us. Popular's agenda, an office for Decimus Cornelius. Sure, let him have the position then. Okay, where else? Can we recruit troops? Well, let's do it. Come on, why can't I? Huh, because I already did it. I'm dumb. I was trying to raise them and they were already raised. Alright. And an army over here. So you guys will converge to this location because we will want you to be able to take the enemy. Attack. You have a 0. You most likely don't even want to be here, right? I think that's a fair guess. Okay, and you also change. An ex-slave family emerges. Alright, sure. Is that a great family that we can see already? I mean, we are way over. Where's the. Is it on the characters? Yes, families. Yeah, we don't even have it here, so. Oh, so they will. Okay, Popili. So they will. Or did they fall? Was that the family that rise and fall? I don't know, everything is possible. So you guys just march and prepare for an attack and siege. Volara falls ill. And I think at this point we can just go and do it. Did we upgrade the morale of the ships? No, we didn't. Alright, let's give them that before we declare war. We'll try to push enemy forces back inland or to the harbor so that their ships cannot freely attack Greece. That wouldn't go well. So let's declare war. Take Cyprus. Yes. Oh, snap. Stop. Alright. What about you guys? How far are you? You're marching. A plea for asylum. He's a pretender from Marrakesh. He may prove useful. I'm still not entirely sure that we want to subjugate Marrakesh, but I guess historically it would make sense. Okay, just destroy these fools who uses light infantry and phalanx and pretty much nothing else. And show me how we can take this one down. Alright, we're actually gonna go and blockade you. And you're gonna take care of that little army. And you can maybe blockade over here. So we do have the engineers. So they help with the siege. But still they get a pretty high defense. 72.5% is actually extremely high. Come on, sink these ships. And then go back here. Yeah, that was pretty quick. I guess they tried to hide the navy, but it failed. So let's see if we can siege this and end this. The sheer grandeur of Cotton of Kition attracts travelers. Let's increase stability. And do we have... Yes, let us sacrifice a pig so that everybody else is feeling a little bit better about their lives. Except the pig. The pig will never feel anything again. Because it's a dead pig. Where's the earthenware? Here. Alright, national output will increase. I mean, our armies are on standby mode. Wherever their ships might actually land or land their armies, we're doing good. Are you getting a bonus from the blockade? Yes, you are. Alright. So this ought to go relatively easy. You guys are just plunging into the highest ranking cities in the Ptolemaic Empire. It's gonna be interesting. I'm never getting a little bit of money. The 201st Olympiad. Well, your siege. Here's actually... Ah, okay, so they're exiled. Well, they're not gonna do anything to us then. Oh well. Now let's see if we can point at some very bad people when it comes to... I cannot sort it the other way around, huh? I think we can pay, yes. The Omen for the taxes. I don't think they are ready for us, honestly. They haven't sent a single army against us. Divine Response, we gain popularity. Well, that's fair. That is fair. So let's just finish up this siege. And then forget about it. Because we want to take Cyprus. But... London. Alright. So it has fallen to us. And now we can actually... We need 16. Well, alright, your one and only place of actual performance has been finished, and now we just need to wait for them to give up. They haven't actually caused that much damage, I like that. No, well, there wasn't very any people living there, so it's kind of hard to imagine how you burned a half-empty city. Alright. They still wouldn't agree. So I have to push them a little bit more. Alright, where are you going? So let's send you on a mission to actually start sieging these provinces and force them into an early peace. Because now we have 11. That's not enough. We need about 10 more. So the easiest way to get it is to take some of these sovereign territories. And we will be gone. Because this is all going to be Carthage again. And this one doesn't have a fort or a limit to it. So send you steadfast victory. Nice. So what does this says? In a battle, being methodical and having a good plan will make what might otherwise look like an even match turn into a one-sided matter. As shown in the latest victory, the first Regio Italia has shown that they might even be able to push the ocean itself back with the result. So they get Ferrata reward. Oh, this is good. Heavy infantry and light infantry discipline plus 15% and heavy infantry morale plus 10. Alright, all things considered, I think they may be ready to concede. So let's see, will you give me that? Still no. But they're much more inclined now. I wonder where your ships are. Let's send you over here. I'd like to end this episode. We're running over, but I want to take the Cyprus for ourselves and end the war using that. Alright, we're getting really close. This is a really quick war. Just for one province. Not much. Maybe even they are thinking it's not much they can do about it at this point. So they might as well enjoy themselves. Come on. Come on, come on. Just one, no, 2 more points. Alright, well, that's gonna happen soon. That is gonna happen soon. Your compliance is gonna increase. And or you will stay the same. Well, in this case, I think we're gonna give it one more try and see if we can end the war. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So the Sovereign Elite, we put the sword and we have finished the overtaking of the entire island of Cyprus. And boy oh boy did you have more houses than you have now. Well, either way, we have won another war. We have won another war and our units are now occupying the entirety of Cyprus. So that makes me happy. I hope it makes you happy too. It was just a small thing, but in the next episode I think we're gonna fight Arevatia again. Because the truce is gonna expire very soon. Yeah, this year actually, in about half a year. So we'll come for the rest of the Iberian territory. They can keep the one in the north, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be taken by, what do you call yourselves? Britannia. It's gonna be taken by Britannia. So anyway, see you next time.